Hey YouTube fans, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. Today we're going to talk about traveling through the airport with your wheelchair or scooter. Today I'm going to get you through the process of going through the airport and getting you through the security screening if you're in a manual wheelchair or a scooter. So I'm going to go through a checklist that I found online and kind of give you the highlights. And we're going to link below some really great informative websites that you can access that are going to talk about things that maybe you didn't know. So here we go. Now you all know that when you get into the security line, you're going to have to be screened. Now you're in a wheelchair or a scooter, so you're going to be taken off to a separate area. And you're going to have to do the manual pat down and the swabbing. They're going to swab your hands and your shoes and your wheelchair. And they're checking for explosive residue, okay? And they're going to have you pat you on the back, have you leaning over, side to side, underneath in your legs, and basically checking you out because you obviously can't walk through their screening equipment. So once you've done that, there's other things you need to know. And basically, you have to make sure that when you're traveling, that you instruct or your traveling companion instructs the TSA officer the best way to maybe handle the situation. Now, for parents who travel with children with autism or children with developmental disabilities, it's probably a good idea to have what they call the TSA notification card. And we're going to show you what that looks like, because basically you can hand that to the TSA agent and it describes the individual and their disability and their medical condition. Now obviously I don't have the card because I'm able to pretty much speak for myself and let them know what the issues are. But for situations where the person being checked cannot verbalize that, I think that the notification card would be very helpful. As I said, they're going to do the swab down so they can check their little computer machine to see that you're not packing a bomb or anything. And you're not required to remove your shoes or belt, or maybe if you're just wearing a hoodie or a sweatshirt, you don't have to take that off. If you're wearing a heavier coat, like a winter coat, that you will have to take off. And now we're going to talk about medication. Now all your medications are going to have to be checked. So medications that are in pill or solid form must undergo the security screening process. Now Kevin usually has all the medications in his backpack, and so when I'm taken to one side to be screened, he's on the other side with all the bags and they're going through the detection process. Now what if you have medications that are in liquid form? You need to notify the TSA officer that you have medicine that is in liquid form, because there's special handling for that. And your liquid medications are exempt from the 3-1-1 liquid rule, so that you can bring your necessary liquids, medications, and creams, and they can exceed the 3.4 ounce TSA limitation rule. Remove them from your carry-on bag to be screened separately with the rest of your belongings. And you're not required to place them in a plastic Ziploc bag. Also, maybe you have some medicines that are required to be in ice packs, freezer packs, and gel packs, and other accessories that you might be taking with you that need to be frozen or kept partially frozen. Supplies such as IV bags, pumps, syringes, they must be screened before they'll be permitted into the secure area of the airport. Now, TSA officers will test the liquids, gels, or aerosols for explosives or concealed prohibitive items. Okay? So that is going to be done. Now, if you don't want your liquid medications to be screened by X-ray or to be opened, please up front notify the TSA officer so that they can determine the alternate rule for scanning. Now, traveling through the airport with your scooter or powered wheelchair, you have to make sure that any attachments such as baskets, saddlebags, any kind of wheelchair setup equipment or purses, along with any other carry-ons, are put on the X-ray equipment belt and they go through the screening process. Likewise, that goes for walkers. Walkers must be folded up, put on the belt if they fit, and go through the scanning process. Also, any canes and crutches must be put on the scanning belt. If you're planning on traveling by way of airplane with a mobility scooter or power wheelchair, remember there are two types of batteries that power mobility products, and they are lead acid and lithium. Now, all mobility scooters and power wheelchairs are equipped with non-spillable batteries. Now, non-spillable batteries are batteries that do not contain water like an automotive or a marine battery. Lithium batteries for mobility scooters must not exceed 300 amp hours between all batteries in the device as a whole. Lithium batteries must be in their own protective cases. Now remember, you don't have to pay additional baggage fees to transport your medical devices per FAA and ADA rules. Upon making your reservations, remember, notify customer service and make sure that they know you are traveling with a mobility device. They may ask you certain things about battery size, battery type, or the make and model of your mobility device. Now, policies and procedures are different from airline to airline, so make sure just because you've traveled, let's say, on Delta one time, they may not be the same thing if you're traveling on, let's say, Southwest the next time. We strongly recommend that you take pictures of your mobility device, your scooter or power wheelchair, before they take it out of your possession, because if anything happens and you have to make a damage claim, it's good to have a picture of what it looked like before they removed it and put it down in cargo. Now, a little recap of what we talked about, and that's: 1, it's free to transport per ADA and federal law your mobility scooters. Notify the airline about your mobility scooter or power wheelchair in advance when you make a reservation. Get a doctor's note and fill out the necessary airline paperwork if it is indeed necessary to do so. Take a picture of your mobility device at the airport before it's taken out of your possession. And retrieve your mobility scooter or power wheelchair down at the baggage claim. Remember, if you're traveling on international flights, laws differ from country to country. So keep that all in mind. Again, we're going to download here on our screen some websites to travel out. There's a good one called Society for Accessible Travel and Hospitality, and it goes over how to travel by air with a wheelchair. So, I hope we've given you some helpful tips on traveling with a wheelchair or a mobility scooter. And I want to thank you for joining us, Cruising with Wheels. Remember to travel safe and cruise often. Well, I got to talk about what I need to talk about. And then we do the ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay, that's not right. All right, I'm done.